Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of the show. My name remains Emmanuel Akura, and you're on a show where we say it the way it is, on a show where we're not afraid of expressing how we feel, on a show where we talk about all things that are happening in the world of news, being it political stories, being it, everything, crime. We talk about everything that is happening. But last 2 weeks we spoke about, the previous 2 weeks we spoke about the issue of protest in Nigeria. We saw how innocent protesters were killed. We saw how so many things emanated from that protest, peaceful protest that started a few days ago. And today we're going to go further, a little bit further into that story. We're going to talk about the aftermath of that protest in Nigeria. But before we do that, we'll be going on a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still here with me, Emmanuel Akura. And like I said before, we went on a short break that we're going to be talking about the aftermath of that protest. After that protest, what are the things that have happened in Nigeria? We've seen a lot of shops looted. We've seen police stations burnt down. We've seen so many things happen during the course of that protest. And a lot of stories are coming out from that protest, so many things that we can't be able to start talking about everything. But I have with me in the studio somebody who is going to help me to talk about everything and a way forward also when it comes to the issue of protest in Nigeria. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
So good to have
Thank
you.
Thank you for having me, sir.
That's so good to have you.
Thank you so much.
This is Mr. Haru. You all know Mr. Haru. Mr. Haru, we've spoken about the issue of Endsars protest in Nigeria. It started with Endsars. Now, that protest turned into something different. The people were killed. Obviously, we spoke about the last week, how innocent protesters were killed. And now I want us to look at the aftermath of that protest. There's a story that I came across yesterday. The police people refused, in Lagos especially, refused to go back to work as a result of that protest. And some of their complaints were that they were neglected by the system. The system failed them. They spoke about the issue of them being traumatized as a result of what happened. They saw some of their colleagues killed. They saw their police stations burnt down by the hoodlums who, I don't want to call them hoodlums because, that's the name they were given for agitating for what's right. Now, what do you, I want you to be able to look at all these scenarios and let's be able to provide a solution. What do you think of the aftermath of that protest?
Thank you so much. The aftermath of this whole protest, in my own view, as I see now, it did not end well.
Okay.
That's how I see it. The reason why I say so, when you go for a protest, you have got something that you are crying for.
True.
So until you get proper answers, until you get crystal clear solutions to your problem, that's the only time you can back off.
Okay.
Now, if you are in a protest can go well, a protest can turn other way around, but the problem still remains. You understand?
Yes.
So which means if you are to forge ahead, you have to forge ahead with the protest. But if you stop midway without solutions,
You failed.
automatically you fail. Because at the end of the day, anyone who is in charge can turn that thing in any direction that he thinks so.
Okay, you just gave me an idea of something that I was thinking about. You spoke about the issue of if you're halfway through it and then you retreat without any solution, you failed, right? And what came to mind is that I was speaking to a friend, and we spoke at length, and he was asking me that what happened after the protest in Nigeria? Were their demands met? How come the protest is not going on anymore? I now started looking at the whole thing, and I go back that these guys were clamoring for something, for change in Nigeria. And we have not seen that change. The government has not been able to come out and state clearly that this is what these youths were crying for, and we're going to make these changes. The only thing we heard was about the panels that were set, to investigate the heinous crimes that were committed by these police officers that everyone was agitating for. So and now I just want to just take that part before we go deep into it.
Okay, thank you. You know what? Let's be very, very frank with each other here.
Yeah.
These guys, when the protest started, it was about police brutality. Was it addressed? That's the question. SARS was at the center stage. They did not remove SARS. They renamed, they rebrand, and everything erupted into violence. Did they remove them? That's my question. Was there any government official who come public to say, we have heard your cry? It's all about, because when you establish a group, the reason is to better the lives of the people.
True.
Now, if the very same people that you want to better their life are complaining about that thing, what are you supposed to do? Is to remove it. Now, here, we don't see a scenario where this thing has been abolished or this thing where it has been terminated. We are now into another stage of things. And it's silent about the new SWAT or whatever they call it. You understand? So we have got a problem here. We have got a challenge here. You understand?
Yeah. Okay. Look, that is very important that you state that out. And we are talking about the aftermath of the protest. Now, there's so many stories that are coming out, like I stated earlier, that the damages that were caused by the protesters was huge, especially in Lagos State. Now, we've seen instances where some of the COVID-19 palliatives warehouses were looted. To be some of the stories are just so absurd to a point you can't begin to pull them together, because you hear people say things like, some of these things were kept for somebody's birthday before they could distribute it. These are not personal materials. These are food items were meant for the people who cannot afford. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not somebody coming out to say that. You're going to respond to that, but I just want you to get what I'm talking about. Another thing is, there is a popular Nigerian actor turned politician. His name is Desmond Elliot. And Desmond Elliot started campaigning. His campaign was majorly on social media, to a point that he was thanking his followers for campaigning for him on social media. Went into Lagos State House of Assembly, where he is nominated to serve. He started calling people on social media that these are children. He said on social media that the Nigerian, we are losing it as a country because our culture is diminishing. People are not respecting their elders anymore because of social media. Now, first, the issues I have with that is this. As a country, Nigeria, where we are right now, it is as a result of the cultural expectation that is coming from people. Because people want to see you. You're my elder, yes, I agree, you're my elder, I need to accord you that respect. But I don't have to deprive myself of living simply because you're an elderly person. If I am agitating for something that I know is my right, and you are telling me that we lost it as a nation because of age, I don't know where we're going to as a nation.
Let me be very frank with that, my friend. There is nothing like that in the world that we are living today, especially in Africa.
Yeah.
We were born like that. We respect our elders. If I tell you the truth now, at my age, we are running the show in our family. If you would take the very same member of parliament you're talking about, he listens to his children. They are running the show.
True.
He's grooming them to run the family. But now, when they wear a political jacket, that's where the problem is. You understand? It's a weapon. You understand? Of oppressing people.
Oppressing people.
Yes.
Truth. Yes.
Because the truth about it, there's no one who has ever disrespected any elder in our culture. No, not even. But facing the reality now is the great question of the day. They're supposed to be answerable. They are refusing to be answerable. That's now they are
Instead, they're deviating
Yes.
from the main topic, to talk about age. People are disrespecting people on social media and all that. Okay, now, we're talking about all these things. It's so sad because I watched the news and I saw where a lot of people were arrested. And a certain prison in Nigeria rejected some of these people because they say that they did not have the capacity to accommodate these guys. And I was looking at it, knowing the nation Nigeria, and knowing how this will operate, innocent people are going to suffer. The same thing that these guys were protesting for is what is happening right now. Which evidence do you have that these guys were the ones looting? Which evidence do you have that these guys were the ones killing people during the protest? Why are the people who opened fire on innocent protesters not being brought to book?
We are talking of Africa, my friend.
Yeah.
The political landscape of Africa. That's why I first said, when the protest started, what was the position of Buhari in the whole protest? Because this thing was a very simple thing. People are tired of SARS. You understand?
Yeah.
Address the SARS issue. Instead, they decided to do it anyhow, and it resulted to this. Now, what we are speaking about is there is going to be assassination of innocent people. Why? Because they are not hunting for looters. They don't care about that thing. They don't care about that thing.
No, they don't.
They are going to hunt for the people they suspect they are behind the demonstration in a clever way. In the name of hoodlums, in the name of criminals, in the name of looters. You understand? Because at this point in time, after a demonstration of such nature, you understand, we were supposed to be the starting point when we talk of the criminal element in the whole process. Who killed who? Why? At what point in time? How did it happen?
Yeah.
You understand? So it must start from the state to the people.
I'm just getting a whole lot of things right now. And when you talk about setting a panel that would deal with the issues that concern the people, I doubt if the right thing to do is just set a panel without their consent or without their knowledge. These people who are there, are they credible? Do the masses agree with these people who are on the panel, who will sit and decide what happens to the things that they went through? Because right now, look, we're dealing with a nation that politicizes everything. We're dealing with a nation that is so interested in what they get. Even in a difficult situation, they want to get something in return. Now, if you're bringing these people, how was even the process? How was the process? Because I don't understand how they came about selecting a group of individuals to come and sit.
Politics. When the whole protest started, the magnitude that it gathered, they were supposed to maintain the momentum. But somehow, technically, they were deviated from their direct objective. Now, if you would go to a warehouse, you see where there is COVID-19 food. At this point in time, when they are playing politics, COVID-19 is still there.
It's still there, very much there, yes.
So it defeats the whole purpose that this thing has been hidden for someone. Those could be news, but in politics they can refuse it. You understand?
Yeah.
You see where the dirty part of it is now getting in. They would say, is COVID-19 over? That's the question. They've already jumped the ship there.
Look.
Now, number two, when we get to a situation whereby a panel is being formed, you understand? There are two things here. Why is the panel being formed and for whom? Why am I asking these questions? Was it the reason why people were protesting? You understand? Now, which means somehow, through the process, there is neutralization of the whole things.
Yeah.
You understand? Because once take it for example, we have got the Sondo Commission. For how long has it been running? You understand? Yeah. Right? Let's leave that one. But my question is, the commission is meant to investigate, because the things that they want to investigate, they are too far-fetched. It's broad. It's in a broad spectrum. Look. You understand? So to confine this thing now to come to a conclusion, into an answer that would please the common person in the street, how many years are we going to do that?
You see, let me tell you something, and I don't know, because sometimes when you want to express your views and how you feel about the whole thing, a lot of people will look at you and think this guy is just, is being against a system. In the first place, we don't have a system that is functioning. In the country, we don't have a system that is functioning. That is number one. And then we have a system that, look, if there's any individual in Nigeria, young, old, who don't know that police are brutalizing people, police are harassing innocent people, police are stealing, police are killing from innocent people in Nigeria, that person is a liar. You might not have experienced it as a person, but you have an idea. When you hear that word, Nigerian police, you know that these people are capable of this, and they have done this. And when it's happening, not just to you alone, to this one alone, to this, because first, there is no respecting of rule of law in Nigeria. By the same people who are supposed to be enforcing the laws in the land, and making sure that everybody maintain and respect, and then protecting the life and property of the nation.
And another issue that is bothering me with the commission at this point in time is the composition of the panel.
Yeah, true.
And then how independent is the commission? You see, looking at how big the state is of Nigeria, and how the atrocities were being perpetrated, is because they knew of those limitations. Then how is the commission going to operate? The way how the commission is going to operate is the thing that, if you look at the Zonal Commission, it's confined in Kakuteng because they are just picking people that they know. But now when you talk of an elderly person who is somewhere, some 400 kilometers, who has been abused, how is he going to read the commission and explain a story?
Another thing also is that these people want people to come out, give their, I bet you, this is a nation that I know too well. Some of these people are going to be victims of what I call systematic abuse. Because all they want to see right now is that you have a nation that, look, these people, these old people you have in power right now, they're very clever in such a way. They want to be in power. They don't want to give that power away. And the only way they can give that power away is by making sure that who are these guys who are behind, like you said earlier, who are these guys who are behind the protest that is going on in Nigeria? Or who are these guys who are behind tarnishing the image of this nation and making us look useless? Like people with just... You understand what I'm saying?
A thuggery event.
Left to me alone, I don't support that panel. I don't support any commission being set up to look into, because I know at the end of the day, they're not going to do anything with the outcome of that commission.
Okay, let's look at it from this angle. How is the panel being elected? If it is by constitutional appointment, then which means the powers are vested in the president. Which means it's an appointed body. It's an appointed commission. You understand? Who is it going to serve? If someone appoints something, which means it's going to serve the person who appointed it, that's crystal clear. So if that commission is going to be appointed, and these people they are appointed, they're going to serve who?
Okay, let me ask you a question before I can see we're running out of time. What do you have to say about the guys who are looting the COVID-19 palliatives in Nigeria? What do you have to say about that issue? Do you think that action is justifiable?
To me, that action is not justifiable. Why do I say so? It has defeated the whole purpose of a demonstration.
You think so?
Right now, they are now being labeled what?
Hoodlums, yeah.
Why? Because they invaded a room. They did not say, we are going to stay here until we find out who is responsible and find out answers. They took the things.
All right.
You see now,
I
now in their justifiable action of protesting, something wrong happened, which technically empowered another person to now say they are done.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Haru, you know this topic is something that we can have different parts. Talk about it today, talk about it tomorrow, we'll be able to finish, you know. But a lot of things are happening. We just feel we could, you know, talk about some of the little things that are happening. And I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Once again, looking forward to seeing you again. Yes, and to the beautiful people out there, we have spoken about the issue of the protest in Nigeria when it started. We spoke about the protest when a lot of people were killed. We talked about the protest when things became tensed in Nigeria. And right now, we don't know what happened to the protest. We don't know if the demands of these youths were met. We don't know what happened, but somehow we see that we just experienced total silence from the youth. We don't know what the problem is. We don't know what is happening behind, but what I can say to you is this. If the youth truly cares for their future and want the future and a changed Nigeria that they all dream about, that process should continue. And I'm not saying the protest should continue in a bad way. The protest should continue in a way that is civil, in a way that everyone will know these guys are actually responsible and agitating for something that is dear to their heart. Because we've seen how things unfold at the moment. We've seen that the Endsars that we protested about, we don't know if the Endsars is out, we don't know. We don't know if the SWAT stand, we don't know what is happening in Nigeria right now, but I bet you this. The Nigerian government that we know and how corrupt they are, and you hear some of them come up with so many flimsy excuses that you look at them and you just can't help but laugh at some of the things that they say. You know, so we've spoken about all these things and the way forward. What is the way forward to you? I don't know what you think the way forward is. We don't know. I mean, we can only sit here and speculate about the things that we feel should happen in Nigeria. But the truth of the matter is that the future is in your hands. It is yours, you know, to preserve. How do you preserve the future for the generations to come? Is by standing for what is right now. I'm not trying to surmise anyone, but I just feel that the matter has been handled with so much levity, and that, to me, I feel is where we're losing it, because something has happened. A lot of lives have been lost, and we are here once again going back to the social media, complaining. I want us to be out there on the field. I want us to be able to protest. I want us to be able to tell this government that we are tired. We want to see changes. If we cannot see the changes, we're not going to stop with the protest. Because they're playing games right now, coming out saying that you are touts, you are hoodlums, you are whatever, criminals. You know, I listened to a spokesperson for the president, Femi Adesina, came out and he said so many things that, you know, I look at him and I laugh each time I see him. And this is not somebody who was very vibrant. This is not somebody who was very, very good at criticizing government, trying to make sure that things are working for the youth. Now he has been bought. He is somebody who is supporting a government that is not for the people, a government that is not doing anything, you know, to support its people. He said something very funny. He said that the looting of this food is not as a result of people are poor or hungry. How many people have you fed as a government since you took over? You are working with the president and the current regime. How many people have you fed in Nigeria? How many people are hungry in Nigeria? Are you telling us there's no one who is hungry in Nigeria? 27% of the 200 million Nigerians are poor and can't afford to eat. And you are telling us that the looting of these items wasn't as a result of people who were hungry. But, you know, I mean, when you're trying to protect your stomach infrastructure, what do you do? That is what you do. That's what you say. You say a lot of things to protect the position you are in. But know this. At the end of the day, that is going to come back on the generations to come. It might be your children, you never know. But one thing that I'm very happy about is that the youth have demonstrated in their little protest that they are resolute on things that they want. And they're willing to give their lives for them to be able to get what they want. Anyway, we've come to the end of the show. Myself, my colleague here, Mr. Haru Azishiri, we've come to the end of the show. And I want to say to you that until we come your way again, have a blessed day. Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. Oh, yeah.
education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Redemption Television Ministry.